Probably the biggest change for us has been the garden centres. That's come on very strong, and with our type of product it's perfect. So that's really developed over the last few years, probably the last 2 to 3 years. It's really starting to show some results now. It works very well for the customer because it doesn't put any stock pressure on Stax. So we pick it, pack it, deliver it on behalf of Stax. So the customer doesn't have to wait too long for it, hasn't got to worry about whether Stax have got a pile of stock in. It's mainly around the pre-season time that we do that. When any customer says to you, we're going to start doing a trade show, the immediate reaction for a supplier is, oh, another one. With the big brand show, when we very first started, it was successful. It was very good. I think the good thing about how it's developed over the years is they've listened to us at the end of each show, asked us questions, how's it gone, how can we change it, and they've listened. So each year, certainly for us, speaking from a Ronseal perspective, it's got better and better and better. The last one being, I would probably say, the most successful trade show I've ever had to do with in my whole of career at Ronseal. They were a cash and carry. Now we're going into delivered wholesale. Getting that message across to the customer is a difficult thing because people are so used to Stax's way of doing things. The website development's been quite a big thing. We supply a lot of images for them and very specific images of each colour of the tins. It's getting that message across to the customer then from that is the till-to-till that they do now. That's all starting to come to fruition. But it is a combination of us working with Stax and Stax working with us that's helped develop that. Stax reps, as they've come on, and they are, apart from a couple of them, mainly garden centre. And we've worked with them over the years since they've started, and that's grown. I mean, it's probably twice as many now as it was when they first started, so it's working. When you've got another sales team that are doing a similar thing, it's almost doubling up your sales force. I mean, the retail business is still strong. We have an independent sales force that only do independents and garden centres. So we wouldn't have done that had we felt it was a dying trade. I don't think it's expanding massively, but what's there is good and still moving forward. And I really enjoy dealing with Stax, genuinely. So it's keeping me in the job.
Obviously, when we first started dealing with our cash and carry only, they now deliver for us, and the deliveries come through quite quickly as well. Most of our suppliers we do deal directly with. There's direct accounts anyway, but obviously it's that useful top up every weekend after a busy weekend, just to get the shelves filled up again. So the next day rather than having to wait up to a week. Scott's has worked very well through Stax because we get direct pricing all year round through Stax, dealing through the direct accounts rather than that. It's probably where they weren't holding the quantities in the gardening range, but since the market's moved with solars going out of the market in that respect, they've certainly really upped their game with stock holdings, improved the warehousing, improved availability.
Stax are very clever in having both the cash and carry side, which enables our members to go and buy what they want and take it away, or a very good delivered business, which we're obviously trying to expand, and the area that is extremely interesting to our members. Our members can also purchase quite a lot of different products with one single order and one single delivery. With less and less distributors and wholesalers to pick from, it does appear to me that Stax seem to be making more effort than most. It's a win-win situation for both Stax and for BIRA, and of course our members. They've been very proactive, yes, and they've made sure that they well support BIRA, because they know in turn that BIRA support the retailers. And at the end of the day, if we can support the retailers, then it must mean somebody who relies on independence, that we're doing a good job for them as well. There's a lot of promotional activity which our members have responded very well. In fact, we're just running a leaflet at the moment where if the members earn a certain amount of orders in value, they'll get a free leaflet with their name on that they can distribute. There's about 1,000 leaflets on there. So we expect to expand that over the next few months. And to be quite right, it's easy for the supplier because they can send a big lorry load to Stax. With me, they've got to send their individual orders to, And some of our members are little corner shops. And so that, you know, that's where it comes quite difficult. The smaller you are, the more difficult it is to deal direct. Yes, okay, you pay a little bit more, but you get what you want when you want. And that's got to be key for any retail business. David, try and get a depot over in East Anglia if you can, because I think it'll pay you dividends.
Well, 12 years ago, it was purely for us a cash and carry type business, doing a reasonable amount of business, out of 4 cash and carries in those days. Now it's developed into or developed through being a delivered wholesaler and now a full-blown distributor of Scott's Miracle-Gro products. We have 2 major distributors now in the UK, Deco and Stax. Since the demise of Solus, it's been down to 2 rather than 3. We have 1 or 2 other smaller ones that we use on a regional basis, but they're the 2 big national ones. The amount of business that we've done with Stax during the last 3 to 4 years has absolutely exploded. And as I say, with the demise of Solus last year, that took off even more. And Stax very easy to deal with. I find them very positive about where they want to go and what they're able to achieve. They're very keen to invest in the business to grow it, and that helps us at Scott's enormously. Big brand shows tend to be a good event for us, for Scott's. We get to see a lot of customers that we wouldn't normally, i.e. those that we were talking about just now, where the Stax reps are looking after entirely. So we get to visit those customers get to come visit us within the store. And we also get to see some of our customers and show how united we are with Stax in moving their stock to them. The feedback that we've had from our retailers, particularly over the last year, where the amount of business has grown dramatically, is that Stax have really come to their assistance, their aid. They're providing a very, very good service from practically nowhere. There was a lot of issues about trust, and Stax have really risen to the event and come to the market in a great way, both for us at Scott's and also, as I say, for retailers.